It's not just an eyesore, it's dangerous, and folks in one local town want government there to do something about it. The leaning building in Mahanoy City, our top story on News 13 at 4:30.
From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. It's the Leaning Tower of Mahanoy City. Actually, it's more like crumbling. It's a house that's so broken down it's being supported only by the home it's toppling upon. Neighbors and city officials agree that it's an imminent safety hazard, but as Matthew Petrillo tells us, nobody's taking action to remove it.
Steve Sizak tends his garden almost every day. It's something he says he takes pride in, but his backyard may soon be all he has to his name. A house next door is literally falling on top of his. He says it started to happen about 5 years ago after new neighbors put on a new roof.
The chimney came down, and then the rest of the house started coming down. And that's what we're up against. And every year it's been getting worse.
It's become so bad, it's not just affecting his home, it's also pulling apart the home next door.
We're never going to sell them. We have to give them away. If I want to go somewhere to just say, here, take the house, I'm leaving, you know.
Now the house behind me is so dilapidated, it almost looks like a fun house, but neighbors say this is no joke. At night, they feel threatened to even go to sleep.
The water comes in the basement. There's also mold in the basement. It's pulling, it's pulling my, it's going to pull my house down. There's a health problem there because of the pigeons nesting in there.
Sizak says he took the owners of the eyesore to magistrate court to force them to demolish the home. But the owners owe about $10,000 in taxes on the house and declared bankruptcy. Now, that's made it easier for city officials to acquire the house. They expect to possess it within the next month or so. But paying to demolish the house is another challenge.
More expensive than most people think it is. Generally, a house like that with a house on each side is going to run you probably around $20,000, maybe $25,000 for that demo.
That could take months or even years. And by then, it may be too late for Sizak.
We're all on pins and needles waiting for something to happen. Every time there's a, you see it, every time there's a wind or a heavy snow, some more come in.
Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Mahanoy City.
Fire marshal has now determined that this morning's fire in Hazleton is a case of arson. Hazleton Fire crews were called out just around 6:30 this morning to a heavy flames and smoke at this blaze on East Chapel Street. The building's a vacant apartment building that has been condemned. City crews quickly had the fire under control, but flames completely ravaged the rear portion of the building. Nobody was hurt in the fire, though. Some firefighters had some problems with the heavy smoke. Once again, a fire marshal just determining that today's fire on Chapel Street, a case of arson. Well, the Hazleton Area School District is dealing with a mold problem head on. Today, the district held a news conference to explain the mold problem found at the new STEM school in Butler Township. Christina Papa was there to hear more about the problem and how it'll be fixed.
There'll be no molding of young minds in this building until the mold spores found between the bricks on the outside are gone.
The mold that's been discovered to date, and I'm saying mold although we don't have the testing back yet, so I'm assuming that it's mold, but it is on the outside of the wall construction cavity.
Crabtree and Rohrbaugh says the mold is a spotted dark gray, and although testing has not come back yet, this moisture found in the cavity of the walls at Hazleton Area Academy of Sciences building in Butler Township needs to be removed. The district assistant facilities director and construction manager, Ed Szymanski, works there almost every day. He says they didn't know there was mold until they cut open the wall.
Into the existing building, it's actually where the front entrance is. It's a canopy. So when we cut the steel in there for the canopy is when they had to cut some of the exterior sheetrock out. One of the construction workers brought it to my attention.
Crabtree Rohrbaugh's John Rohrbaugh says incorrect installation of flashing appears to have caused the mold, but it can be fixed.
There are several different possibilities that the experts are looking at, from trying to dry out the cavity to removing the brick and replacing it. No matter what, we're going to have to fix the flashing issues, which requires taking some of the brick out in order to do that. And if we can't find a reasonable way to leave the brick in place, it will all come out and be replaced.
Rohrbaugh says the issue will be paid for through insurance, so the mold won't cost the taxpayers a penny. And although this building has had its fair share of issues, construction workers say building from the ground up would have costed much more time, and now students who will be seniors next year will be able to experience the STEM school and not miss out on an academic opportunity.
So by going with an existing building that we could get into faster, that we could house the educational program adequately, it gives us a whole year head start of educating students.
The school has also been testing to ensure the safety of the air inside and outside of the building.
So we'll have not only the air quality tests that were done in November of 2011, the ones that are being done now, but we'll also have air quality tests that are done days before the students go into the building.
School officials say this will not affect the opening of the school year later this year. Christina Papa, News 13, Butler Township.
City of Hazleton has put 2 additional police officers out on the street. The approval came from City Council at its meeting last night. Salaries for the new patrolmen will be covered by earned income tax revenue that was owed to the city by Luzerne County's former tax collector, Central Tax Bureau, which went out of business. That money will cover the salaries for this year, but the city will have to cover the positions next year. Council also tabled the ordinance, which would set earned income tax rates for residents and non-residents who work in the city. Apparently, there was an error in the amount of the non-resident tax in the original ordinance. Well, we've been hearing a great deal about gang violence and the presence of gangs in the community. Law enforcement acknowledges that gangs are a growing problem, and as Stephanie Gorney tells us, the district attorney held a public meeting last night to bring area residents up to speed.
Violence and crimes are a continuing problem in Northeast Pennsylvania, especially in Luzerne County. Many residents feel like there is little that they can do to gain back control of their communities, but law enforcement is trying to change that. Wednesday evening at Coughlin High School in Wilkes-Barre, District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis hosted a special presentation on gang awareness.
These criminal organizations coming into our neighborhoods and bringing violent crime with them, drugs, many different types of crimes that are occurring, and we want to try to help the Crime Watch groups and inform them as to what they should be aware of in their neighborhoods.
Detective Lieutenant Christopher Lynch presented many gangs that are around the area and aspects of gang life to various crime watches from around the county. Crime watches learned a lot from this presentation and are going to be able to put it to good use when patrolling an area.
Colors, trends, signs, graffiti, what to look out for your children as far as behavioral changes, loss of normal friendships and all that. Very educational, very useful for the everyday person.
While some found it shocking to learn the young age that children are getting involved with in gangs, David was well aware of the issue due to being in the Crime Watch for so long.
I'm not. I mean, I've been involved with Crime Watch for multiple years and with school security prior to that. So I've seen a lot of it, but it is shocking at first sight, yes.
The local crime watches are hoping to get more involvement and have their groups work together to combat the gang violence and crime across the county. There will be a county-wide crime watch meeting on July 10th at the Emergency Management Building in Wilkes-Barre. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Wilkes-Barre.
And coming up on News 13, the rain going to hang with us for a while. We'll tell you when it'll end in News 13 weather. But first, we'll join some local students as they discover the world. We'll give you the grand tour just ahead on News 13. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. The daily number, 921. The big four, 9232. Quinto, 86415. And the treasure hunt, 7, 12, 15, 20, 28. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 60th anniversary to Charles and Eleanor Tyrone of Beaver Meadows. This wish comes with love from your family and friends. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, Community Services for Sight invites you to a Vera Bradley luncheon Sunday, April 14th at Capriotti's in McAdoo. Tickets are just $23 in advance and $26 at the door, and the ticket includes lunch and a chance to win new and retired Vera Bradley handbags. Call 570-455-0421 for more information. Also, Yingling, along with USA Boxing, are presenting the Pennsylvania Golden Gloves boxing event. The Tournament of Champions will be held Friday, April 12th at Marion Catholic High School. Doors open at 6 p.m. and first bout is at 7. For tickets or information, call 570-773-3966. And one final announcement, the 4th annual Making a Difference Golf Tournament will be held Friday, May 3rd at Sand Springs Country Club. All proceeds will benefit the American Cancer Society. For more info, please contact Janine, 570-956-3393. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Chris J. Casatis, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 10:30 a.m. from the St. Eleanor's Roman Catholic Church. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. and Friday from 9 to 10:15 a.m. James Robert Shirley of Barnesville. Funeral will be held Saturday at 2 p.m. from the Lamar Christ Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Michael E. Pavlik Jr. of Freeland. The McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home will announce complete arrangements. Margaret Arrow of Hazleton. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by the Turnbach Funeral Home. Charles A. Wagner of West Hazleton. Funeral is Saturday at 9:30 a.m. from the Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Dr. Joseph R. Gabala of Sugarloaf. Funeral is Friday at 11:30 a.m. from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Mia's, once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
Issues supporting children have always been a top priority for one local state representative. Now she'll be a part of a group that will try to make all children safer while they're in school. In response to the tragedy last December at the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut, the Pennsylvania House of Representatives has established a select committee on school safety. State Representative Tara Toohill has been appointed to the committee and looks forward to coming up with suggestions and solutions to making sure kids have safe learning environments.
The legislature in Pennsylvania is getting together, and I have the honor now of being placed on that committee. It's a select committee on school safety, and we are going to be studying what kind of laws need to be enhanced, what type of legislation we need in Pennsylvania to promote school safety and make sure that really good administrative policies, they can then be enacted into law so that it would be uniform around the state and that children would be protected.
Toohill says she'll be reaching out to school administrators in her district for suggestions. The committee will make its recommendations at the end of September.
Welcome to this week's Family Time. I'm here with the second graders, and all of the classes have actually been learning about separate countries. Second grade has Brazil. Madison, can you show me where Brazil is? Right there, awesome. So you learned a lot about Brazil in this project. Can you explain what are some things that you now know about it? How about this mask? You learned a little bit about this mask. They have a fun party, right? Right around, when do they have that?
Before Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. And do you remember what that party was called? It was a what was it?
Carnival.
Carnival, very cool, thank you. And you did a lot of work too. This awesome poster you made shows a lot of different facts about Brazil that you guys learned. What do you know about Brazil now?
That soccer is their #1 sport.
Mm-hmm. And so you like to play soccer, I'm guessing, huh? Mm-mm. You don't? Mm-mm. No? But what else did you learn about Brazil then?
That the first girl was the president.
Oh yeah, this woman right on the bottom, right? I can see her picture right on the bottom. Very cool. Well, you guys seem like you learned a couple of cool facts about Brazil, but you also did some projects, some art projects, right? And that's where we're headed now, downstairs to see what the other grades did with their projects. So thanks guys so much. Now we're downstairs with first graders, Callie and Ella. Their project was on the country France. And what are these pictures you have?
Monet water lilies.
And what, did you enjoy drawing these pictures? Why did you draw this?
Because
it's from France, right? The picture is from France?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So what else did you learn about France? I know you guys learned a couple of things. You were telling me before, you now know the colors of the flag, right? What are they?
Red, white, and blue.
Perfect. Awesome. And then you said you know a bunch of facts now. What are some things that you can now know?
They're the longest river, and people go skiing there.
Thanks, guys, so much. Well, they're not the only class that learned about a project, obviously. Upstairs was the 2nd grade class. Right behind me, we have the 3rd grade class. Their country was Russia. Morgan and Michael are our 3rd graders. Michael, can you tell me, what did you learn about Russia?
It's pretty big, and their flag is red.
And is it cold or warm?
Cold, very cold.
Very cool. And what about for you, Morgan? You have this picture. You guys drew this one in art class. What is this about?
They nest dolls inside of them. A big one would nest a medium-sized one, and a medium-sized one would nest the smallest one.
Yeah, and so did you learn anything else besides just the picture about the dolls? Do you remember, is it in Europe or is it in Central America? Where is Russia?
Europe.
Europe. Very cool. Thanks, guys, so much. You did a really good job on these projects. That's this week's Family Time. We'll see you next week.
And time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar, you can see a line of showers starting to move into our area. That's really going to intensify through the evening. Pretty much the same way they did last night, then a lot of rain overnight. Our creative condition tonight is a beauty. It's by Max Aceto, a 2nd grader at Valley Elementary. And he's got himself a house and a tree, some really, really colorful birds. And it looks like he's also got a stereo set up outside. And he's playing along to the music. Looks like fun. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton for tonight. Rain moving in overnight with a low around 40 degrees. Then for tomorrow, rain heavy at times during the morning, ending during the afternoon with a high of 54. Slight chance of showers through the evening with an overnight low down to 41 degrees. For Saturday, partly sunny with a slight chance of showers, but a high only getting up to 52. Colder at night with the low down to 34. And for Sunday, mostly sunny with again the high near 52, overnight low down to 38. And for Monday, mostly sunny with the high finally making it into the 60s, 62. On to Schuylkill County tonight, occasional showers with thunderstorms also possible, low around 41. And for Friday, showers and some thunderstorms with some of those storms producing heavy rainfall, high up to 56. The rain will end and an overnight low down to 42 degrees. For Saturday, partly sunny with a slight chance of showers, a high of 55, nighttime low around 34. And for Sunday, mostly sunny with a high, again, only up to 54 degrees and the low heading down to the 30s overnight. Then for Monday, partly sunny with a high near 64 degrees. And still ahead on News 13, another big night for a local favorite son. It's out of here for the 3rd night in a row. Fred Barletta with the highlights in News 13 Sports.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Well, the name of the game today is Beat the Weather Forecast. They're calling for a possibility of showers somewhere around 7 o'clock. Hope they don't come any earlier than that. We know the skies opened up yesterday. They caused all kind of havoc. You take a look at some of the suspended game results. As you take a look, Marion Weatherly, that game got suspended. They're going to be picking that up. Hazleton and Crestwood were having a dandy. At the end of 3 innings, it was 1-1. They're picking that one up at the suspension point. Now, actually in softball, Marion and Weatherly got their game in, 5-1. Good for the girls. They beat the Thunderclaps yesterday. Hopefully that's what we're talking about today. Pine Grove, they trounced Tamaqua. Columbia Montour Votech doubled up on MMI. And a shutout for the Golden Bears Montana area over Shenandoah. Now in track, you actually need 76 points to win. The boys just got it. The girls, well, they didn't have it, but kudos go out to the Berwick coaching staff. There were 6 events to go, and they said, look, who's kidding who? We're not going to win this match. We're going to call it and give Hazleton the win. So Bobby Calarco, the coach of Berwick, we salute you for making the right move. Common sense still exists. Now, here's the makeups. And this is where I was telling you where, got to keep an eye on the weather forecast today. MMI was supposed to host Nanticoke. That game has been switched to the Honey Pot Field in Nanticoke. MMI's field just not playable. Now, Hazleton worked on the 22nd Street field. Give you the details. It's 1-1. They're in the 4th inning. That's the suspended game from yesterday. And I just checked. They did start that game, so hopefully they can get it in before the rain comes and causes havoc again. North Schuylkill Tamaqua, that is definitely on as well. Softball, Hazleton area is up in Mountaintop, and North Schuylkill is playing Tamaqua. Tennis action, MMI and Hazleton are home. And in volleyball, the Cougars are hosting Dallas down at Hazleton Area High School. In that Hazleton Area High School gym, it used to be Russ Kanzler territory. Played basketball there. These days, he's been slugging it for the Norfolk Tide. Take a look. You're watching. This is not a replay, folks. This is not old footage. This is his latest home run. Third one in as many games. He is on a hot streak. He was 1 for 3, couple of RBIs. His average a very robust 333. Hey, want to know something? In Baltimore, the designated hitter position has 1 hit and no RBIs in the first 8 games. Can you say Russ Kanzler? Well, can you say happy birthday? There you go. How about a happy birthday greetings going out to the hometown slugger down there for the Norfolk Tide, Russ Kanzler. Enjoyed a birthday today. When I talked to him earlier today, I said very simple. Celebrate by going yard again. Let's see if he comes through. We'll wait and see. Last night, his former teammate Kyle Landis' game was postponed due to rain. Same thing with the Red Barons. Listen to me. That's really old school. The Rail Riders. You going to think I have that down by June? We're going to find out. Pawtucket and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs rained out as well. There's today's schedule. But I'm telling you, if you're a sports guy locally, you're a weatherman right now because the forecast is ominous. Let's get him in. And we're brought to you by Bottled X, where tonight it's Rack 'em Up Rib Night. They're racking up their flavor with fired grilled ribs. You get a half rack of meaty, fall off the bone, St. Louis style spare ribs, and it is smothered in that sweet barbecue sauce. They fire grill it and serve it with bottomless fries for just $9.95. And oh, don't forget, huge imported beer selection, pool, dart, shuffleboard. Good time waiting for you up at Bottled X.
And that's News 13 for your Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch this newscast again with rebroadcast throughout tonight, or just go to News 13's website anytime, SSPTV.com, where you'll always find the local and regional news you need and the community news you want. For the entire News 13 team, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Have a great night.